The things that you need to understand with the Dutch oven is it is a cast iron surface. It's not inherently non-stick when you buy it. When you buy a Dutch oven, it has a wax coating on it that prevents it from rusting during the shipping process. You get that home and you need to get the wax off. That's typically a hot soapy water wash, and that will remove that wax coating. And then after that, you need to do a very quick dry of it, because you now have raw cast iron present before you. You do need to get that oven dry before the corrosion process starts. Once you've dried the oven, however, it's now time to apply a protective coating. Typically a product such as Crisco works very well. There are other oils that can work well. You do need to pay attention to where they start to burn. You need an oil that's going to be able to withstand the temperatures that you're cooking at. I typically will season my ovens with an oven temperature of 450. I have found that works fairly well. Lower temperature ovens typically leave the coating in a more bronze state and not as much of a black state, and the bronze coatings I have found tend to flake off a little bit easier, so I found the best luck seasoning the oven at 450. But what you want to do is slightly warm the oven by putting, say, the lid on the stove and getting it to a safe handling temperature, but slightly warm, slightly above your body temperature. So you warm that on the stove a little bit, and then you apply Crisco. You can go ahead and apply it to both surfaces of the lid, and then that's ready for the oven seasoning process. With something like a lid, you can see it's going to have the ability to puddle the oil product in the inside, so we'll want to make sure that we have that upside down when we season it in the oven, and we'll have to kind of watch the coating on this side to not be too thick on this side as well, because you can see that because of the dip in the center, that could also puddle Crisco, and that would end up giving you a very thick coating that would then peel back off. You can do both halves of the oven at the same time. No need to do anything about the bail handle, that's fine. But the inside of the oven, you'll do the coating on, you do the outside, and this one will definitely be upside down in the oven as you do the preheat. Both of these can go in at the same time. Preheat the oven to 450, and then place these into the oven. In fact, you can place them into the cold oven. There's no reason to preheat, and give them about 90 minutes. In 90 minutes time, usually they've processed to the point where the oil has now been impregnated into the cast iron. They become dark bronze or black, and then just simply turn off the oven, let them cool in the oven the next morning or whenever they're safe to handle. Remove them back out, and you're pretty much ready to go. A lot of the cast iron now comes pre-seasoned. My personal experience with pre-seasoned cookware is that is a nice start, but another coating of the seasoning process typically enhances the overall longevity of that coating, and that's a nice thing to do as well. Pretty easy.